All right, we're live here Sunday morning, Thanksgiving week here. Fatboy FadeAway Sports with you. Casey with me, Tyler, Brian, the main man, Johnson. A lot to get into. I want to get into. We'll obviously hit on the usual NFL, Raiders, Niners, Warriors. What the heck happened Friday? And we'll get into the Chiefs a little bit. Are they done? Is Brian's favorite team going to be eliminated from the playoffs? So we'll get into all those topics here.
I know. We eliminated one team on Sunday.
Yes, you did. The birds got shot. You shot the birds down. They had no chance in that one whatsoever. All right, so feast week coming up. Basketball, one of my favorite times of the year as well. Anybody watch the big game last night? Cal Stanford. Nobody tuned in for that one besides me. Tyler.
I made it through 3/4 of the ACC network. It was terrible football.
It was not the best. So that quarterback, he's still like. A lot of people are saying he's going to get like NIL money from somewhere else. I heard some Cal guys this week saying, no, we're going to keep him and all that. So I don't know. What do you get? What do you make of that situation just in Cal real quick? Because early on, you're like, this guy's going to be a number one pick. I'm assuming you meant down the road.
Obviously.
But just what do you think real quick here for Barry, I think here?
I think he's still good. He was pathetic last night. They had I felt like everything was a check down. I think he's leaving. I would leave. I'm not sticking around at Cal watching that product.
Ron Rivera's now the AD. Come on.
Go across the bay to Stanford with Andrew Luck if you're going to stick around here. It's bad. And Stanford looked awful in the first half. That offense was atrocious, and they didn't give them 2 touchdowns. Bad football is all I can say watching that game.
I mean, they literally fumbled the ball 2 times that resulted in touchdowns that the offense didn't even have to do anything. So Stanford wins back the axe after 3 years. That was kind of gut. It was funny, like Cal Stanford. It's never been like a huge rivalry though, because I feel like the teams have never been good at the same time. Like very rarely have they been like pretty decent at the same time, like ranked games. It's hard for me to, even if it was like 25 ranked Stanford versus 24 ranked Cal. It always either seems, Brian, like Stanford's way ahead or Cal's way down here, or Cal had their run and then Stanford wasn't caught up yet right before Harbaugh got there. So, I don't know. It's just never –
It was crazy that one time when Cal was ranked number 1 in the country.
Did they end up getting to 1? I thought they were at 2, right?
I think Casey was at the game where they missed the field goal to not become number 1. Against Oregon State, I believe.
It was very depressing, yes. That was a tough game. Oregon State had Steven Jackson, the old Rams running back on that team, but they still had fun. I mean, Cal was loaded. They had I think it was I'm just guessing, probably from that team 4 first-round picks or at least 3.
Well, I know the guy from the Saints went last of that. What's his name? He's been there forever. Cam Jordan. Yeah, Cal used to get some defensive players once in a while. There'd be some guys that would come out of there that could play defense. So, but you haven't seen that in a while. So, anyways, that was my little college football Cal Stanford angle. It was kind of funny as they're getting ready to interview Andrew Luck, that gets a fumble right by him. I don't know. I think Stanford's lucky to have him as the AD. So I'm guessing their football program will make a little bit of it. And who was the quarterback for or the Bills, and he was the coach for the Colts. He's now their coach for 1 year. What's his name again?
Frank Reich.
Frank Reich, yeah. And it sounds like it was just a 1 year thing that him and Andrew Luck agreed to. And I remember hearing an interview on KBR with him coming in about how, hey, it's a 1 year deal. He agreed to this, And I was like, I wonder if they do okay if he would come back. So I'm wondering if it will be done. Or will this big win over Cal get 4 wins when they were just god awful the year before to entice him to stay 1 more year? So I'm kind of curious if he's actually done or not. So that would be interesting for me to see from that angle of Stanford. So, anyways, there was that. What was any other college football games you guys were watching yesterday?
I mean, the only one that was kind of decent, I guess, was the Oregon USC game.
I watched most of that game. That was probably the one I watched.
And then,
what did you think of Lanning kind of calling out that? Oh, that was a crazy game. The Utah
did, yeah. 51-48, I think was the final.
Was Kansas State up by a lot, though, it sounded at some point, or was it always close the whole way?
I mean, I don't know if you can ever say a lot when the team's like that much of an underdog. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of how I felt with Texas A&M and South Carolina. It was 30-3, and it was like that's a lot. But then they came back 131-30. So it's like when the big teams are like up, I don't feel like it's that much.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's kind of that, especially when they're at home.
I think we've
Or when the crappy teams play.
70 on Syracuse.
I saw they scored 21 points, but without even an offensive possession. They got 2 interceptions for a return and a block kick in the first 5 minutes. What a start to the game! 21 nothing in the game. 70 points. They really tried to make it. I mean, and then you have Ohio State. They schedule Rutgers as well. So there's like some weird things like college
Alabama.
football. Yeah, what was that? Like Lanning called out in the SEC for basically putting Charlotte on the schedule and some other team like UNC Greensboro and all these just bad teams.
Whenever I see like these teams play college football, I'm like, well, they're actually. I remember them from college basketball being in like the dance, like not like the, but like at least in the 64 teams. I'm like, I know you at UNC Greensboro. I'm like, I've never heard them being good at like college football, but
no, I don't know. And I'll still say this in college football playoffs, the one thing that intrigues me the most, and I think it's a weird spot to be, but I think it's such a huge advantage to your program if you could get it, or just a cool day, is that if you are one of the 4, 5, 6, 7, like those other teams, or no, 5 through 8, you get to host a game in like a playoff. The other ones are not ever on your campus; they're always going to be somewhere else. I think that's kind of a unique window to be in, to be one of the 4 teams that actually host like a home playoff game in college football. I don't know. That's kind of, to me, that was the coolest part of last year. And so to me, it's kind of a funny spot to be.
Ashton Genty's like, I should have gone back.
I should have gone back, Boise State. Well, yeah. Be with play for the Broncos, the Boise State Broncos, or the Las Vegas Raiders. Who has higher quality of football?
I'd rather play on a blue field.
No, I don't know. It was a rough game. So there was that Utah game was nuts. So, anyways, we'll see who goes. I kind of was a little bit more into it this weekend than I've been in before, probably just because I've had some time to actually watch it a little bit. So, we'll see where the playoffs lie with that. And I always think it's funny too. The Virginia Tech guy, he's like out there waving to the crowd like with like another game left out there. Like I'm like, man, that poor coach on the sideline. That's just sitting there. That's the definition of a lame duck right there. That's the definition of a lame duck right there. So I thought that was kind of funny too. Niners play on Monday night against the Panthers. I was telling Brian before you guys jumped on, is kind of one of those like odd little matchups. Not just the Panthers Niners, but like Monday night Panthers. It's just kind of a weird little game. It's on the schedule there. And the Niners offense was terrific against the Birds, against my Cardinals. They put up.
Let's finish that thought. They put up 41 points. They played great offensively. The defense struggled. Jacoby Brissett was setting records. Michael Wilson has 15 receptions. Just unacceptable on the Niners defensive side of the ball. Brian, I'll get to you. Brian, what do you think of how the game went? And what would you like to see change against the Carolina Panthers?
We got. It's going to be a turnover battle. If we're winning the turnover game, then I think we win the game, because I'm not sure if the Panthers are there yet, a realistic contender or not. So I just think the Niners are just a better team than the Panthers at this point.
Casey?
Well, you already know how I feel about those Panthers, Brian. But
it's going to be like when the Reds won in the Chavez Ravine.
Chavez Ravine. Yeah, I mean, last game though, I mean, I guess Darren, you guys are right. The Cardinals did not have a whole lot of like skilled players out there. Michael Wilson actually, like you said, fulfilled that number 1 role, but I don't know what the hell's going on with Eddie Pinheiro and his extra points, but it looks like he might be sidelined this week.
He's out. They picked up the Matt Gay.
Did they pick up? Yeah. So I mean, he's at least a proven kicker, but we'll see how that comes into effect. Because we know before Jake Moody was, kind of actually a big problem for you guys before. So all in all, though, I mean, the injuries, man, keep piling up. Bethune, I saw he got banged up, and then Winters got banged up. I don't know if you guys are they playing all today, or how's that looking?
Bethune's out. We'll have Curtis Robinson step up for him. Me and Brian have been begging the Nick Martin drum all year. He played 14 snaps and had 6 tackles. Put the guy on the field. Let's see what we have in him at the inside linebacker position. This is my breakdown of what we have to. The defensive line has to do something. It did absolutely nothing last week. 0 sacks on 57 pass attempts, 4 QB hits.
Do you think it's a Robert Saleh scheme, or you guys just don't have the players? Because I know he doesn't blitz.
Well, that's he doesn't blitz, and we don't have the players, so we're not going to get pressure. So it's just basically let him throw the ball, and hopefully our DBs can force a couple of turnovers. And they did. They got 2 picks, which is a record for this year for the 49ers, considering they went like 18 straight games without a pick. So 2 picks was a big deal.
I like Lenore. Lenore seems like one of the better players on your guys' back, or at least on the back end. At least he seems like he's a playmaker. He always kind of is in the mix, but I don't know. For me, it's just like you said, Tyler. You guys had levels before. It was like Bosa, Warner, and then you had Mufasa and Mustafa, and then Lenore. And now it's like you only just kind of have, I don't know. I would say probably 1, 2 good players, game changers. I guess you'd want to call them.
Yeah, I think even the best secondaries, if you're getting no pass rush, makes it tough even to play DB. It's the toughest position to play in like almost all of sports outside of maybe quarterback and goalie and hockey. So like you need pass rushing to beat elite teams. The Panthers are not elite. We are at home. I do think we will handle the Panthers. I think Purdy continues to show why I'm so high on him and why the offense will be fine. The defense is going to struggle again. Ted McMillan from the Panthers on pace for 1,200 yards and like 80 receptions as a rookie. 6'5". It's going to be interesting. We don't have tall, lanky corners, so it'll be interesting. If he gets put in the slot against something stout, 6'5" versus 5'8", I'm sure we'll have something to combat that. But
Rico Daddle's been on a heater since a couple games, but Chuba Hubbard, I know they're pretty healthy at the running back position, and I know Brian Burns on the defense could cause some havoc for you guys today against the O-line. So
didn't he get traded to the Giants?
Excuse me, but I mean that was their last kind of.
Yeah, they do have a good D line.
What you were saying is like that
was their one hope, and that hope got taken away from Casey.
That was like the one guy, I guess, that could get pass rusher. So I mean, you guys should be able to hold up, but we already know how I feel if I pick those Niners. They're gonna lose. So we'll do the opposite for Brian today.
Brian, you being the diehard fan, what concerns you about this game, if anything at all? Nothing? There got to be some concerns after giving up 452 yards.
You ripped them, so why can't I be positive and go?
I didn't rip them. I gave stats.
Like there's a half a rip and half a positive. I mean,
sounds very objective.
You're just a glass is half empty fan, Tyler. I mean, I don't know. It's just like at this point, I just think the defense is going to step up at some point. I think we are going to get pressure. It's just not going to. We're just not going to get it. Period. I mean,
it's been 11 weeks.
They have 12 sacks all year. I don't believe in this defensive line. They're all hurt. If Bosa's played,
somebody's going to step up, and they're going to continue to improve. They improved last week because they got 3 turnovers. They hadn't gotten any the whole season. So, I mean, that's improvement. I don't know.
That's quite the improvement. I mean,
so as Niners fans, do you guys basically see the division out of reach? Are you guys just going for the wild card right now, or do you still think you have a slim chance?
Brian, go ahead.
I mean, we're only like a game out of the division, and we beat the Rams once. So I mean, it's not a slim chance. A slim chance
hurdle 2 teams, though,
right? Slim chance is the Raiders showing up every Sunday. That's a slim chance.
I didn't take shots at the Raiders yet. We'll get to the Raiders in a little bit. I do think the Niners can win the division. They beat Seattle already, so they have that. They beat the Rams once. They beat us once, but at least we have that. Considering the Rams are probably a more talented team at this point, I think we could all agree. The Niners' schedule the next 3 weeks is cake. If they win the next 3 games, they could be tied for first or even in first place. And then that gets a little tougher, but nothing. They're just half a team right now. The offense, I think, some don't like Purdy, but I think is really good. The defense, I don't think is very good. Brian thinks otherwise. He thinks they're going to come around. I don't believe it. That's just my take on it. I think they can win the division. I wouldn't put them as favorites.
You know what's amazing about this year is that Christian McCaffrey is the guy, knock on wood for you guys, that has stayed healthy, which is like completely like
a shocker
from like all the other years. It was like he started out the year where we thought he was going to be like in Germany still doing all this treatment, and now he's like having like career games, not career games, but I mean he's marching up the ladder of like, I think it is like actually for the first 10 games he had like 500 yards receiving, 500 yards, rushing, which is like one of 4 guys, I believe. But yeah, it's pretty crazy out of this whole year that he's the one guy. I think he's got to be your MVP of the team.
I'd agree.
I mean, it's between him and Kittle. Kittle's
been out though, Brian.
What?
He hasn't been healthy though. He missed like 4 games.
But since he's been back,
but I mean, I get what you're saying, brother, but I'm just saying, like, without those 4 games, you probably, like, if you're missing McCaffrey, like, there's no way. I mean, there's just no way.
McCaffrey has 707 yards rushing, 732 yards receiving. He has almost like an MVP year. He's gotten so many opportunities. Efficiency hasn't been great, like running the ball. He's still averaging 3.7 yards per carry. He's been unbelievable, though. The fact that he is healthy with his damn knees that we thought both of them were going to break down at some point. He's the last guy I thought would be still healthy
of
our superstar players.
Is that the closest thing to maybe a Luka Doncic trade? Is McCaffrey getting sent to the Niners for like nothing?
Did they have to trade a first-round pick even?
No. I think it was a third.
I remember us doing the post game or a live reaction right after that trade.
It was a good viewed podcast.
I can't believe ESPN gave the Niners a D to begin with. I mean,
for the trade?
Yeah.
Like, I guess he was hurt a lot, but I mean,
double D or D?
They weren't that lucky on the
trade with the Raiders.
Casey asked the question that your thoughts. With the Niners being a game out, what odds do you give the Niners of winning the division? Here's their schedule to remain: Panthers, Browns, Titans, Colts, Bears, Seahawks.
I think they'll win 4 out of 2. I think they'll win 4 of those.
So
lose to the Colts and Seahawks, I'm guessing, or maybe
the
Browns are a house of horrors for the Niners.
I think they'll beat them. I think they'll beat them. I think this year they'll get the job done. Their schedule's cake, and it does play to their advantage. So they gotta win these games. Like you can't, like if they lost to the Browns and they lost to, let's say they lose to the Panthers, I mean that's gonna flip their whole season at that point. So they got to keep winning in a tough NFC. And we'll see what happens Monday night versus the Panthers. Confidence level, I mean, right now they'd be the 7th seed. I do think the Niners do have, if I was you guys, I would be frustrated that their best players are out on defense, and that's killing you, obviously. I'm sure you guys already talked about pass rush and all that. But the one thing I'd feel good about is that nobody on your team would, especially if Purdy's back, and who knows with Ayuk and all that, but I wouldn't be afraid to go on the road against the Seahawks or even the Rams. I mean, I know they'd beat you. It's not like I'd be.
The Seahawks defense is hell good, dude.
They are. I'm not saying that, but I just feel like the Niners are one of those teams where I don't know. I think they could pull off an upset if they got in there and stuff like that. So I think their Super Bowl this year is going to be tough to get to. That's a long road when you start in the first round, or have to play the first round on the road the whole time. But I don't know. Maybe their offense does get hot, and that's their offense basically has to score 30 points a game. I feel like, and that's what they can do. But I don't think they'll be afraid to go on the road.
No, they're battle tested. They have coaching staff and players who have done it. You already mentioned the defensive line. Bringing up Ayuk is silly. He's never playing for the 49ers again. You don't take someone's money and then go, you're going to screw up for us. He's not playing. He's done. He's getting released at the end of the year, and that's fine.
Now, I tried to read up on it. It sounded like he didn't show up a lot to stuff. Is that why they did this and stuff?
But Shanahan made it sound like I've never heard of any franchise doing this. So
I've been trying to.
He kind of put it in like York. I don't know what we're doing. Brian, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I mean, the whole thing, like with him not even fighting this with the NFLPA. It just kind of shows that Ayuk messed up and he wasn't showing up to meetings and wasn't being a leader. And he just knows he screwed up. If he doesn't know he didn't screw up, then he'd be fighting this and trying to get his money. But that's to me what the most bizarre thing is. You're just going to let all this money go, and it doesn't seem like he cares about it.
This is can I get my take real quick?
Yeah.
I think he's going, if I fight this, I can't get released because I'm still fighting at the end of the year. This isn't going to get settled in 2 months. He's just like, I want to leave. I don't want to be here anymore. I will find a way to make money later in my career, which is a risky move. And that's why he's not going to the NFLPA and filing the grievance, in my opinion, from like just the tea leaves that I'm obviously not in the building. I could be wrong, but that would be my take on it.
I always thought that him and Shanahan had a really weird relationship. Like they're always at odds about things. Like there's after that Colts Niners monsoon game. He had to return kicks and they were yelling at each other in the hallway, or the whole shorts thing. He didn't have the right color shorts, and you're being a baby about that. It's just, I don't know. It comes to the point that, you got to be more of a team player and a leader if we're going to give you money like that,
Yeah, that was my question, was going to be, where did it go wrong? And it sounds like the Shanahan, right, Case, or you had something else you wanted to?
No, I mean, it's pretty much what I was going to say. Is him and Shanahan seemed like when it feels like someone's picking on you for dumb stuff like shorts and like these little things, it's like, come on, man. Like, it's like, you know what I'm trying to do here. It's a little bit of like the Jonathan Kuminga thing. It's like him and Steve Kerr, for whatever reason, they just don't see eye to eye. I don't know what the hell happened in flux during their passing time whenever they talk to each other, but it seems like they just like legitimately don't like each other.
I would blame Ayuk way more.
I don't think it's Shanahan though. I think they actually, but Shanahan's going to be on the team side, but so he's not going to like overly do it for Ayuk. But they've dapped each other up in practice, like when they were in contract negotiations when it was in a stalemate. I don't think it's Shanahan. I think it's Lynch and York, the short.
I think there's something there between him and Ayuk, though. I think they have respect for each other, but I don't think they necessarily get along. Like Casey said, I do think there's like, it's not quite Shanahan's type of personality guy he would want. Like there does seem like everybody's wearing black shorts and you come out with red and you're going to throw beef at your coach for not. I mean, it's like, dude, just go to, that's a little thing, but the mindset of that is where I would be like Shanahan. That's where I could see them having some differences. And it sounds like he didn't come to all the meetings, this type of stuff as well. So that stuff adds up over time. And I don't know. There's like you said, I think the Steve, for us Bay Area wise, that Kerr Kuminga angle is a good one to go with. Yeah. Obviously, Ayuk's a better player than Kuminga, I think, but there's just that friction between coach and head coach. But yeah, of course, the management of not paying him is going to be the ultimate thing. If they paid him, he'd be on the field, right? That's that. But they did pay him, but then they took away the money. It's a weird deal, this whole thing. So they tried to trade him like 4 times, right? Like
they let him go trick or treating, but they didn't let him eat the candy.
Well, I mean, he came out that the Patriots were willing to give him $32 million a year. He said he had an issue with their quarterbacks, and now Drake May is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So that kind of makes Ayuk look dumb.
Wide receivers, prima donnas. What a shocking thing here. Do you think he fetches? What do you think he fetches?
Some incentive, lad, in 1-year contract.
Does he get traded, or is he a free agent now?
I think the Raiders give him a fully 3-year guaranteed deal.
The Kirk Cousins deal.
The Raiders will trade you a 1st-round pick for the next 4 years for a wide receiver. We'll do something stupid like that. That's what I could see.
We'll rebrand with Kyler Murray at quarterback and Ayuk as our star wide receiver.
Yes, I love it. I love it. What a and we'll bring in Matt Patricia as the defensive coach. Make him the highest paid defensive coach in Alabama. Yeah, let's go down that. So you guys play Monday night. Man, another pathetic performance by the Raiders on Monday night. What do you say? Just god awful football to a high level. Geno's throwing picks again all over the place. they can't block if their life depended on it. I mean, the poor running backs just has no chance in some of these plays. And then their defense, I mean, make George Pickens look like a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, this guy, I mean, he played great, don't get me wrong, but the Raiders in every level just continue to be an absolute trash. And I guess people keep asking me now, well, that means they're going to fire Pete Carroll. And I'm like, that just tells you again why this franchise is so pathetic. Like, if that's even on the table, it just doesn't make sense to me. So I wasn't a Pete Carroll guy when they got him, but I wouldn't fire him after the first year either. So yeah, Brian.
Is it true that Chip Kelly's the highest paid offensive?
Yes, Tyler's been saying that. He's been like, "God, it's pathetic." I mean, what creativity are we doing? I don't see anything special. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Is O'Connell back? We got to get him in. At least I just don't want to see Gino anymore. I just tired of seeing Gino out there. I'm tired. I mean, O'Connell.
Tyler's credit. I ripped on him for not wanting to take, the running back and going with offensive line instead. But he's been right. It's like they cannot block for him.
I mean, I'm still okay with the pick. I'm not going to hate the pick, but I mean, they have bad offensive linemen. They do. I mean, I don't know. Like, to me, it doesn't matter. Like, if you look at the Raiders' history, they don't develop guys. Like, I think out of the last 20 years, maybe even a little less, there's like 2 Pro Bowlers, 2 All-Pro guys that were rookies that they drafted. They always try to borrow somebody else's trash after it's been gone, or like that's what they do. They don't actually develop their own guys. Like Brock Bowers is the only guy recently. So I don't know. They just don't draft well, and it shows.
Well, Matt, I think it's enough. You can't be bringing in a quarterback and putting tires on him. You have to draft somebody.
I agree. They don't draft quarter. They haven't really drafted quarterbacks.
Minshew, Geno Smith. I mean,
no, you're right. They haven't drafted.
Pornstar Jimmy.
Well, they had Derek Carr forever, so they didn't really draft that guy. The last quarterback they drafted.
I hear you. I think Tyler's mic's moving or something. I could feel it. Your mic's moving on us. I think T. I just think it's pathetic. Yeah. So
it's terrible. I mean, it's not Pete Carroll's fault. He inherited all this bad players. I mean, it's before this game. Honestly, the defense had been like okay, not like what you saw, and it's just I think it's like Max. I mean, at some point, it's depressing when you're always playing defense, right? I mean, you're like, all right, we're driving for a score, and then it's a turnover. You know, it's at some point it gets to you, right? I mean, it's as much as you're a professional and you line up out there, but it's like, God, we're gonna go get points, and it's like he turns it over at the 10-yard line. It's like, man, those are like killers, man. It's just like so deflating. At least you get points, you know. And it was like even Max Crosby's second drive, they forced a punt. And the second one, Max Crosby forced a fumble, and they get 3 points. And it's just like, man, like, can we ever get a touchdown off of these turnovers? It's just like, no.
Not automatic. No,
you got to get 7. Like, you got to get 7 at some point. You can't just keep kicking field goals. It's not how NFL works.
Oh, well, I mean, like I said, they're just one of the worst out there. Tyler, you came up last week for a little Papa's action. We got watched a little up there. The Bills game was good, or Bills Bucks as well. Brian, you think the Bucks are falling apart though?
Yeah, I mean they've lost 3 out of the last 4 and 2 straight, and now they got to play the really hot team on the Sunday Night Football, the Los Angeles Rams. So they could lose 3 straight and 4 out of 5. I mean, they're kind of really struggling right now.
But after that, they have the Cardinals, Saints, and Falcons, and Panthers.
Go
you
Cardinals.
Keep saying Panthers.
That's part of their team. That's their part of it. I'm not saying the Panthers are bad. They've been pretty hot. But that's not like an upper. And then the Dolphins, and then the Panthers again.
The Reds are playing the Dodgers.
They're 6-5. They're only 1 game less than the Niners. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you really believe it? I don't know. I think the Bucks are still okay in my spot.
I do too.
It's a lot of injuries.
I think that's a good little stretch at the end of the year to get hot though and feel good going into the playoffs. So
I mean, they say Chris Godwin's coming back and it says fibula, so I'm like, that doesn't. If you're coming back from a fibula,
they don't know. They're saying they don't even know if Mike Evans will come back this this year, so that's negative.
All I know about the Bucks, Brian, is my son picked up S. Tucker for me, and he did great last week. It was S. Tucker, and it was like, all right, Papa's, and like I think Tyler was even had to be a little.
I was very impressed.
I don't
Xavier knows his stuff. He's naming like third receivers, fourth receivers. I was like, my God, this is impressive. This reminds me of when we were little, just knowing like stupid things that we said no.
Baxter Berrios?
Yeah,
he's like trading everybody. He's like trying to make a trade with everybody like every day with it. It's pretty funny to watch that. He's all like really into it though. So thank you, S. Tucker, for a good performance yesterday.
Surprised you didn't have Michael Wilson on your fantasy team.
Xavier does have him, so he's thinking about starting him today at the game there. So we got that. Got Thanksgiving games this week. The tradition, all right, it continues after this week's games.
And a 3-day work week this week. We all gotta be excited about that, right?
I'm taking Wednesday off, so it's gonna only be like 2 for me. We finally hit Thanksgiving vacation there at school, so I got to go on Monday, Tuesday, do a little work. But I'm gonna take Wednesday off. So yeah, a little 3 days good. Tyler, you get Wednesday off? There's no way.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you get Friday off though, right? You said
yes.
That's good. All right. So the boss has a little. Congratulations.
Yeah, some sympathy for his.
Some sympathy for it. We get it then. So we got Packers Lions. That's the morning game. Chiefs Cowboys. That's going to be. That's there we go. That's not bad afternoon there. And then we hopefully Joe Burrow will be back, and it's Bengals versus the Ravens in that game. If it's not, Joe Flacco returning to Baltimore for a little Thanksgiving magic, as already gets there with it. So I always like the Thanksgiving games. And then Bears Eagles is the game on Friday there. So kind of an interesting slate of games there on Thanksgiving. Kind of always it used to never be the third game. It was always those first two. So
man, we might have been wrong about Caleb Williams. He looks actually pretty good. I know I know we said in the beginning he just needed to make quicker decisions, and it seems like he's doing a little bit of that, but he's actually playing off script. Like he's just a comeback kid in fourth quarters. That's all I do is win on field goals. So.
It's what happens. That's what happens when you hire a coach who knows what the hell he's doing on the offensive side of the ball. Like you get a guy who's intuitive, and you put young talent around him, he's gonna flourish. It's just like I don't know. Ben Johnson's been great for him. I think it's more of a compliment to Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams be better than even Caleb Williams, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a completely different quarterback.
He does.
Like taking sacks, getting crushed every play. It seems like he's actually progressed pretty well so far. I was pretty wrong on that one, actually.
They have to play.
Detroit is really missing Ben Johnson this year because I don't know, like the game against the Eagles. I know that was kind of like a cold game, but I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird that your head coach is calling offensive plays. Isn't he more of a defensive guy?
He was a tight end, so I mean, like. I don't know. He did play tight end. He looks like a defensive guy.
Jared finished that game 2 of 18. His last 20 or 2 of 20. His last 20 attempts.
Go Bears! Go Bears! Go Bears! Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer starting for the Steelers today against the Bears. So you got that game there too. Probably the only other one on the schedule for me that's kind of is that Bucks-Rams game. Tonight's pretty good. The rest of the slate, Colts, that's a big game. Vikings-Packers, not too bad as well. And then, of course, Browns-Raiders. That's going to be Sanders' first start. Must-see TV.
We have so many eyeballs on that game for the 2-8 Raiders and 2-8 Browns. It's going to be one of the most watched afternoon games.
Is it the only afternoon game? No, just kidding. Is it the only one?
The battle for Ty Simpson.
And you know it's not because Aiden O'Connell has a chance to play it.
So. No, we don't know that with it. All right, so that's a little NFL there with it. BY, I had a real quick before I moved on. What do you think of BYU? Just their school. I don't know why they come up in my mind this week. I'm just like, do you think they receive a lot of hate, or do you think they receive? I'm trying to figure them. That is a weird campus. Like out of all that, like Ole Miss, I know what I'm getting. BYU, I don't know. Like they kind of make these runs once in a while, and like now they got a good basketball team too. I don't know, Tyler. It's kind of a random one in my mind this week.
Well, there's a lot of money going into that school. That's sorry about that. That's not the noise I wanted to make. There's a lot of money going to that school. So with this NIL thing, it makes it a lot easier for them to compete. And I think basketball, they're going to be very good for every year, basically, because they do have the money. And they're going to get non-Mormons to come in and play for – they might get kicked off the team by the end of the year with DUIs and sexual conduct that they're not allowed to have. But they'll take the paycheck.
Man, this NIL thing is terrible. I hate it for college sports. I get it for the player, but I hate it for the sport. I was also thinking if Cal and Stanford should stay in the ACC long term. Like, does it make sense? I hope wherever they go together to the same conference if they don't stay in the ACC. But next week I'm going to Cal SMU. Who would have thought? What a matchup we'll have there. SMU at Cal. So I'm taking the boys there.
They beat Miami.
They almost did beat Miami. SMU.
They did beat Miami.
Oh, I think about the Cal. Yes, SMU did beat Miami. You're right. They did. They beat them last year. What a pathetic loss from the Warriors on Friday, Brian. I know you didn't care probably, but they're playing the Blazers. They don't have anybody in. We're playing fine.
Standing, Darren. I know the Warriors are 9-9, 500 right now. So.
Definition. If the more that Tyler wears that Giants hat, that's what we are. They're going to be 500 squad. They're 9-6, and they fall back to 9-9. And it was a bad loss. They kind of outplayed the Blazers, I felt, and then that fourth quarter they couldn't stop the ex-Wizard. It was killing us. I don't even know how to pronounce the man's name.
Danny.
Danny. I'll just call him Danny. Danny was killing us there. And then the ex-North Carolinian hitting threes, Mr. Love, killing us over there. But
hey, Arizona Wildcat.
Kuminga still hasn't played. I don't know what they could get for him either. So it's like Brian said, 9-9. It's early in the year. I felt like this was going to be how they kind of played it out anyways. So maybe it's not the worst thing in the world. We'll see I think the Kuminga thing is going to be the key. Do they get something for him that kind of gives the team a little boost, or do they just hang on to him and they kind of stay where they're at the rest of the year? So I think that Kuminga angle is going to be a big thing, even if it means getting the monk man out of Sacramento. Like, maybe it won't help them long term, but they need something for this year that's going to give them a little boost, because right now they don't have a third scorer, and it kills them. Like, every night it's like Pods is inconsistent, Moody's inconsistent, and anyways, that's my thoughts on the Warriors. Kind of the same thought, but they got to figure out this Kuminga deal. It's kind of getting ridiculous.
Kuminga, Pods, and Buddy Frazier, and a first-round pick for Anthony Davis.
Let's go. I'm on.
No.
Well, I was asking Tyler. I said, would you rather have Kuminga or Mathurin? He said Mathurin.
Well, probably Mathurin because he plays.
I mean, there was time where
they're very similar players, though. Mathurin's probably got a better jump shot. Kuminga's, they're about probably the same defensive type player. Athleticism-wise. So, I guess it just depends on what system you have them in.
Oh, it's kind of. I was like, that's kind of an interesting one between those two guys. Yeah, I was like, who would? So the Warriors did play the Magic earlier this week, and they lost to them too. Curry went off again against the Magic. It's the highest scoring average, second highest scoring average against any team he's played on the road is the Magic. Every time he plays the Magic, he does unreal. Did you guys see, or could you guess who the team he has the most points against, average-wise, on the road? What team is this? The Wizards. That's a great guess. He's had some great games there, but would be incorrect. That would be incorrect.
I would guess the Hornets just because it's like a homecoming.
Hornets were number 4 on the list. Hornets were the 4th team for him. So we have number 2 in Orlando, 4 in Charlotte. Nope. There's only one Western Conference team. I don't think you're going to
go the Pelicans.
That's a good guess too. It's actually OKC's number 5. That's the only Western Conference team that he has the highest average against. So number 1 is north of the border, Toronto. I guess he's averaged the most points against on the road a little bit. Then Orlando, Brooklyn, Charlotte, OKC. Steph has dominated along the way there. So he's not the problem.
No.
He's still a beast.
No.
He's unbelievable, this guy. So just unbelievable to be able to watch him play. I saw the Sharks got a couple dubs too. Ryan's got to be happy about his Sharkies. Celebrini is just—he's going to be the best player in the Bay Area. in about 5 years. Like, I don't think there's going to be anybody better between all the teams. Once Curry's gone, he'll be the. I mean, we don't watch hockey enough, but he'll be the best player of the four. You can just see it of all the teams, unless the Giants get somebody that I'm not thinking of.
What about Brock Purdy?
No, I think Celebrini has more magic too than even Brock. I think that's.
Don't offend that man on the lower bottom.
He was the number 1 overall pick in the game. You can't.
I think he's just a little jealous. He shut the door on the cards, baby.
Not talking about the cards. I'm talking about Brock Purdy.
Brock.
It was pretty ironic. He had a great game against the Cards. So yeah.
I will say this about Purdy: he threw a couple balls that could easily be picked. Though Johnson, there was a couple floater McGee's out
Charles
there.
Woodson said that at halftime.
A couple floater McGee's. There was a few there that I was like got a little nervous about for Purdy. So I'll see how they do today against it.
Can we move back to the Warriors real quick?
Yeah.
I said this last year and it got a lot of hate and disagreement and whatnot. I do that a lot. Why don't we just blow it up? There's no chance we're winning anything at this point. Just blow it up and start over. Let Steph go win a championship somewhere else. We can enjoy. Yeah, see, like no, we just want to watch 500 basketball and bitch about it. Like, move on.
I'd rather watch 500 balls.
This is what the Sharks did. They held on to their superstars too long when they were good, and they ended up a decade later until they got Celebrini.
What are you unloading Curry?
I mean, it depends what you get. I'm not just giving them away. I'm not unloading. I want to unload them for equal value in the future. We have no first round pick in 2030, and that's when Curry's going to be like gone. Probably his last year, where he'll still be effective. Where it could hurt that draft pick. But
I think if they do that, they gotta go back to the old school Warriors uniforms and go. Yes. It's a great time out.
Absolutely, but it's so hard to watch these guys. Yes. It's not fun anymore. Other than Curry, Curry's still great and exciting. I said it last year. What if we blew it up last year? We could have had a first round pick this year with somebody, and then we could add more to it instead of just holding on to nostalgia. I don't know. I don't think it's as bad of an idea. No, you don't. You bitched about this team all year. Every time we talk about them, it's they're 500. They're not going to do anything.
Well, I still think overall.
No, not in case you are more optimistic, obviously. As way more than me.
You're asking two different questions. You're asking a different question. This is how I'm right. Well, how you're saying just blow. You rip on them and that kind of thing. Yes, I rip on them for what they're being 500. But then you're asking a different question in terms of would you blow it up? And what I'm saying is yes, Of course, if you're able to get a lot for Curry, then maybe you have to think about it. But you also have to say, okay, are we willing to watch 15-win basketball teams? I'd still rather watch 500 basketball with Steph Curry on it. At least I know I might get a show from him every once in a while. Where if I'm watching a team that doesn't even have guys that can play, and that I don't know, that would be my biggest issue. And then we're just waiting back for more lottery picks again. Where I see that point, the value in it, but the Warriors have also proven that they kind of suck at that. So they're that's not really they can't draft guys very well. It continues to be a big issue.
It's just short-sighted to be like, let's watch this guy who is great, amazing. I love Steph. I love watching him play. But it's just I don't know. I'd be willing to not be bad for 10 years once Steph leaves because we didn't get anything for him when we could actually get real value for him right now, or even last year when I said it.
I just don't want to go back to the years of John Starks.
No, I don't. Nobody wants that. And it's a risk you're willing to take. But
likely.
Yeah, Ronnie's cycling.
I don't want to do that. I did that for 20 years. That was very depressing.
Ronnie had underrated chest hair. That's part of his aura.
Isn't that what we could be once Steph leaves? There's no guarantee.
No, we could be.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's a time. I get what you're saying, but I also don't. He's just playing so well to just trade him is like, I don't know. It's such a risky move.
You have to get something back. I'm not trading him for nothing. I'm not just giving him up. But I would get rid of the other guy. I'd be like, Steph, look, I'm not just sit here with these guys. We're not winning. You're too good.
Butler gone. Draymond gone. You're getting rid of all of them.
Draymond, absolutely. I can't watch him anymore.
He's been
shooting 34% from the field, and you have 15 feet of space every time you touch the ball, unless Steph runs by you. That's the only time anyone gets close to you. it's terrible
I
offense.
love that Dick's commercial. He's like, Draymond, you're on the naughty list again.
He always is.
It's
I thought, and he was
bad.
good versus Victor. I mean, he was good. He's the Victor.
He went
stop.
for a triple-double, and people were like, "Oh, he did great. He had one stop at the end of the game."
Well, it's Andre Iguodala defense. You just got to keep him from the. You got to still get to triple double. You get MVP. So you're looking forward to the Pat Spencer era, is what Ryan's saying over here. We got to get a little bit more Pat in the life. Full-time Pat.
But if you can do a trade like Casey said, Pods coming to the young guys and add somebody who's going to help this team right now, I would do that before I would blow it up. I just don't see him doing that.
Yeah,
I am for that more than blowing it up.
AD maybe is a name as they maybe I don't know.
That'd be the perfect get.
Because you got to think he's not worth what he was before. He's been injured a lot, and he hasn't even played like since he's been traded. I don't know. He played like one half.
15 games.
Yeah, like it's not like the values like where you could get like 4 first-round picks. Dallas might think they could, but no one else really sees that. I mean,
Dallas just gave up Luka for him though, so they're probably thinking a little differently.
That's their fault though.
But that means they're not going to trade him, and they'll just die on their hill that he just was hurt.
As they say, there's a sucker born every day, man. Like, I mean, Nico just happened to be that sucker. I mean, it's like. Not my fault. Like you traded a fruit roll up for broccoli. I'm not doing that trade. Like you know what I'm saying. Like
broccoli.
I'll take the broccoli over the.
It's healthier. You'll live longer. You'll live longer.
He's not drinking beers at the end of the.
Would you do it if the Mavericks said you have to take Clay too? Would you do it?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. For sure.
Clay's had a bad year. He's had a rough season this year. So that's
Did you guys see that John Morant Clay interaction?
Yeah, that was on my winners and loser of the week
me
thing.
too. So we can wait if you want.
Well, we can get into it. Why don't we get into winners and losers of the week with stuff? I thought it was interesting. Tyler, I'll let you go with it first, and then we'll go to Brian. What is it, a winner side of you or a loser side?
It was on the loser side for both sides.
Yeah, loser.
But for different reasons.
Yeah,
like Jaw finally acted interested in the game when he's in street clothes. Big loser. Like, what are we doing here? And then Memphis slurps him like he still wants to be there and he hates your city. Cool. Do your thing, Memphis. I mean, the guy had the world at his fingertips 3 years ago. Like, he was literally the most marketable guy in the league, and he's one mistake away from it being like blown up to smithereens, nothing out of the league. So that's a loser. The Clay thing, he's not the same player. And I love Clay so much, and all three of you know that, and I've talked about it. But this is hindering his, like, what he did in the past, where it shouldn't, but it will. So that hurts me personally as a Warriors fan and a big Clay fan. The guy's unbelievable as far as, like, people are like Harden's the third best shooting guard after he went for 55 points. What's a better offense, Steph and Clay or Steph and Harden on the same team?
I mean, obviously Clay plays better off of Steph.
Yeah, Harden was not going to guard Kawhi Leonard. So.
Well, no, offense. Just offensively, though. They're just having a guy who can move, and, like, it's harder to find, in my opinion. Like a Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Clay is harder to find than a guy who can dribble around. A Steve Francis, Stephon Marbury point guard. Obviously, Harden's better than those two. But that type of guy, like, it's easier to find someone who can score 25.
It fit better with the.
And then defensively, it goes bar none. Steph and Clay are better Clay. Then, so like, I just feel like Clay's so underrated, and it's a loser because people are going to think of this latter part of his career where he's become salty.
Oh, that's what was going to be my kind of thought. Tyler was. I've noticed that ever since like he got back from that injury, and he's been definitely chirping more. I mean, all the way back.
He used to say nothing.
Yeah, Devin Booker, he got to do it with. Here's some of his quotes, Brian. He's a funny guy, Thompson said about Morant. He has a lot to say all the time, especially for a guy who rarely takes accountability. Oh, cheap shot there. That's right there with it. And then Morant, as one of the Grizzlies guys was being interviewed at the end of the game, Morant comes onto the screen and says, "Tell him who the best shooter was in the house." Morant said to Spencer. It wasn't the bro from Golden State. So Morant's still referring to Thompson as the bro from Golden State. He goes there, and then Thompson goes on to say it was really just running his mouth, and he's been running his mouth for a long time. it's funny to run your mouth when you're on the bench. It's kind of the story of his career so far, just leaving us wanting more. Like that. I mean, wow. And then he goes, look, we all want to see him out there and do his best, but he's just been letting a lot of other stuff get in the way of that. Blah, blah, blah. I hate to see talent go to waste. Overall, this is his thoughts on Memphis. Clay says they just talk a lot. They have always talked a lot and never really backed it up either. So I don't really respect that. I respect guys who back up talk with play because talk is cheap. So I mean, it was getting definitely a salty exchange between Clay and Morant there on that part of it. But Morant definitely, I don't know. We'll see. Well, that's a tough one.
That goes back to the Jaren Jackson thing, though, when he did the strength in numbers thing. So, I mean, it goes way back. And then after Clay, did his post game after they won is basically suck it, pretty much. Like, you don't know how hard.
The Derek Lowe, he gave us the Derek Lowe after striking it out. Not Derek Lowe. No, not Derek Lowe. That son of a. Brian, those are some harsh comments by Clay there. He's really going out of it there. So that's a good loser of the week. Tyler, I'll go back to you with another one if you got any with it. But Brian, you got a loser of the week?
Yeah, I think there's an elephant in the room. You kind of need to rip on it right now. But Casey showing up with the 80s sweatshirt. I think he's softening a little bit on the team. The Reds got embarrassed by the Dodgers, but you're gonna have to talk to Mark McGwire because he locked you out of the organization. So you can talk to Mark McGwire on that one. I don't think you're going to be able to come back to the A's.
I was going to do the show shirtless, but I thought that'd be inappropriate. So, as the only sweatshirt I had.
Nipplegate. We don't want that. We don't want it.
And then my other losers of the week are Brandon Ayuk. You could have made this work with the 49ers. I put most of the blame on you. And then the film organization for the movies that they put out. I mean, there's no originality. There's no movie I want to go see right now. It's pathetic.
Brian, that's a good Hollywood take. I would agree that there's been a lot of movies that have been leave a lot to be desired there along the way with it. So good take there. Case, who do you got?
I was confused because your mouth wasn't moving and you're frozen. So I was like, how's he doing this? It's impressive. But,
Jeff Dunham.
I'm frozen, but you can hear me. That's all that matters right now.
I'm not going to hear you. I was like, really?
We'll see if my internet
ventriloquist. This is impressive. Brian's got his hand up somewhere moving those lips. But I would say loser, man. It's I go with Tyler. I mean, it's the Warriors so far this year. I thought they'd be a lot better, at least. I know it's 18 games, but usually in the NBA season, it's about 20 games where you can kind of tell who you are as a team. I thought they'd be closer to like 15-9, somewhere like that. I know the games don't add up quite like that, but 15-5, something like that. It's just been, besides Steph Curry on a regular basis, it's been pretty loser-ish. Like Moody's actually kind of showed me some things this year. It seemed like he was ready to play this year. He's taken major steps in at least like shooting and aggression. So besides that, everyone, I feel like Buddy Hield's taking a step back, but Jensen's taking a step back. So just the Warriors in general, loser in that regard. Especially just losing to teams like the Blazers, the Pacers. Doesn't make sense. You can beat the good teams but lose to the crap teams. But then it's like, oh, yeah, you remember the teams that aren't very good? What do? They just play really hard, and they're younger.
It's easy to get up for the good teams.
It literally is.
Yes, the gray red. Yes, I needed that. Yes, sound like after that. I'm a loser of the week. I had a kid at practice he's all, is this going to be a fun practice? I go, they're all fun. What are you talking about? They're all fun practice. It's because there was going to be pizza involved in the practice. So Tyler, you've probably been there with that. They're all fun, trying to get you better. And then I have a kid when we were warming up, the team across from us was doing the 2-foot drill, which is like a basketball warm-up drill, pretty basic one. And he goes, oh, is that where you got the drill from? And I was like, you son of a, I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, this. I was like, I got a couple of cheap comments there. By a couple.
The same kid?
It was the same kid. So I gotta figure this one out. I thought it was funny though. Him going at that was a little loser of the week action for it. I had to give him a little, and then I want to give the SEC loser of the week as well. I just think it's pathetic that you're scheduling teams like this at the end of the year. So that's just part of. I think that's a big loser of the week for some of the schools that we're doing that. I'd like to see you play real teams. That's all. So those are my loser of the weeks there. Brian, what do you got for winner of the week?
Hold on, I got another loser.
Oh, give it to me.
Well, I'll start loser, and then the same guy's winner also for another. It's the Kenyon Martin Draymond Green interaction. Calling 200 guys better than Draymond Green's insane. Big loser. Like the guys he listed that he said were better than Draymond Green.
PJ Brown,
Derek Coleman, Danny Manning, Josh Smith, Drew Gooden, Tim Thomas,
Smith,
Otis Thorpe, Jawad Howard, David Lee, Al Harrington,
David Lee.
And then these are were Popeye Jones.
Well, he was good with the Michael Jordan Wizards.
Reggie Evans. I like loser of the week, like Kenyon.
Okay, if he's doing that, he's just doing that on purpose to troll him, right? I mean, if you're bringing up,
yeah.
I mean, if you're bringing
Popeye
up
Jones,
that Tim
more snacks.
Reggie Evans.
And then to move the winner, same argument.
Your mic, though. Hold on, it's hard to hear you with your mic. There you go.
Sorry.
There you go.
Winner. He talks about how Steph made him, and I agree with this point. Like games Steph played without Draymond, 53 and 28. Games played with Draymond without Steph, 52 and 76. The one season Steph and Clayton played, Draymond was 11th in the team in scoring per game. Now, he's not a scorer, but it says something about you as a player, and you end up with the second overall pick or third overall pick. When was Wiseman picked? I think second.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right after, yeah. Obviously, he's a good player. He helps other players become better, but as an individual, there is some downside to Draymond that a lot of Warriors fans don't like to admit to.
As much as you love and defend Clay, you have the opposite towards Draymond. I at least can respect the opposite approach that you have towards them. But I think it's hard to. I agree that Draymond is not the most consistent player, but I mean, he's definitely one of the more important players over the last 10 years.
One of the best defensive players in this era.
Yeah, it's no doubt about it.
Not even close. Like he was way better than Kenyon Martin. Like Kenyon Martin.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that.
I don't think Kenyon Martin would agree. I don't think.
Well, he said Popeye Jones and Reggie Evans.
Popeye Jones, Casey. Popeye Jones. I mean, that's just.
That's just stuff to stay stuff because you're mad. Like that's not even having a rational argument at that.
I mean, Derek Coleman.
Kenyon Martin was actually a hell of a good player too. I mean, he had that catastrophic leg injury. And then he, was drafted out of Cincinnati and was still a top pick. I think he was number 1 overall.
He was.
So, I mean, he had great games. I mean, he was a good player with Denver and then obviously New Jersey. But
he was always a wild card.
Yeah.
He was never a team player. He was not like that. I mean, I know a lot of teammates liked him, but he always came across very a little selfish to me in some areas too. Like he always have run-ins with some of the coaches too. And,
if I would compare Kenyon Martin, I would say he's like an Antonio McDyess.
Yeah, I guess that would be fair, but probably less of a
different type of player.
He's all-star material. I mean, he's all-star. So.
Reggie Evans. I mean, that's just. Yeah, I mean, come on, Reggie. I'm sorry. That's bad. You're starting to go there with the. That's like me saying that Geno Smith is better than Brock Purdy. Like that's just. That's stupid.
It's about as bad as saying Derek Carr was as good as Brock Purdy.
Well, that's got some light to it, Brian.
Draymond is not in the league right now if he wasn't drafted by I remember my greatest take I ever had. I still will say it to this point is I remember when he came out, I didn't even think it. I was like, he'd be the perfect guy to play with that Heat team. Because that's right when he came out was like the first. That was right after the right when the Mavs played the Heat. I was like, he'd be beautiful to play with that team. And they passed on. They took that Cole guy. I think it was Norris Cole or something like that. And then the Warriors ended up getting Green a few picks later, and I was like, oh, that's gonna work out beautifully.
Oh, Norris Cole.
I think I disagree. Draymond's too good of a defender. He would still be in the league. He would definitely I mean, if you were looking at if I have some of these other guys in the league, he would still be in the league. I mean,
he would be playing 30 minutes.
Maybe
I promise you.
I don't know. He's still doing.
He shoots 33% from the field.
You underrate his defense quite a bit.
No, I don't. I think he's a good defender, but basketball's about scoring the ball. It's put the ball in the hoop.
Elite defender, Tyler.
He's not elite anymore.
Oh my god! Not maybe not right now.
That's what I'm talking about right now.
What did he finish in defensive player of the year last year? Still top 5, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
I mean, reputation goes a long way in this award. Are you disagreeing?
No, I'm just laughing because he's still top 5. So
he's not top 5.
So you're saying it's like the Gold Glove? You're saying like,
yeah, it is. Absolutely.
You just get Eric Chavez, just keeps getting the Gold Glove. He wasn't. Just finds a way to win him.
It's funny you guys don't think it is. Like you've watched basketball long enough to know this.
Yeah, but I disagree.
There's no way the Warriors win a championship without Draymond Green.
I don't think. I'm not saying
definitely would have won a championship when it was KD, Clay, and Dre.
Who's guarding
Clay and Steph?
You have nobody guarding anyone, Tyler.
Who did Dre guard on Cleveland?
Kevin Love.
Anderson Varejao?
Did Varejao even play?
What do you mean? Bogut was on that team.
We're on the first one here. Well, we're getting off the rails a little bit, Tyler.
Guys, we're
not off topic, Brian. We're in we're defending.
You don't like basketball, Brian.
This is Warriors talk with office year-old and
Purdy sucks. Purdy sucks. That's
they're Bob. We know who Bob is in this situation.
Where's Terrell? We need a Purdy. I'll take anybody over this guy.
I was saying big country.
That's another reason is Chargers. How did they look last week?
They got it right there. Brian, what do you got for winner of the week?
My winner of the week is it's 2 winners of the week. Thanksgiving work week. You'll get a 3-day work week and then a 4-day weekend. And then my other winner of the week is Brock Purdy. I got to bring him up again. People were doubting whether he was the franchise, and he came out and showed why he was. So it's shut.
Brock. He's back. I like it. Yeah. Case, winner for you?
I got to go Tyrese Maxey. Guy's hella good, man. The Sixers might have actually found their first superstar. I know Joel was good, but just could never stay healthy, man. Just never can stay healthy. It's not. Maybe it's his fault. I don't know. I don't know the nutrition of how much he cared. I mean, he always plays. It seemed like even when he was hurt. I mean, he had that Bell palsy, and just thought when he dunked it. I think it was last year. His leg was gone for the rest of his life, and then he was fine apparently. But Tyrese Maxey, 52 points. Just an absolute stud, man. He's so fun to watch. So I just didn't think he was that good coming out of Kentucky, but he's freaking unreal.
Yeah, draft Kentucky guards.
Yeah,
Tyler's on his license plate. Take that draft Kentucky.
Embiid did win an MVP, but he sorts them.
He breaks down every year. T, what do you got for a winner?
I have the Celebrini hat trick. Just you mentioned it earlier. The guy's unbelievable. He's fun to watch. Every time he's on the ice, you can't keep your eyes off him. He's faster than everyone. His shot is as accurate as dart throwers. Puts it where he wants. And then Rick Barry on NBC Bay Area just admitting he sucked in a Game 7, like for 3.5 quarters. Like, what superstar's doing that today? He comes out, he's like, these guys carried me. I sucked for 3.5 quarters. And then his interaction with Kalena Azubuike was very awkward. Where Kalena goes, I couldn't shoot him underhand. And he goes, that's because you're not a player.
You'll play.
It's like, but Bob tries to go. He was a player in this league. He played for the Warriors, and then he doubles. No, he wasn't a player. That was very awkward. But winner of the week.
The worst show on KBR was the Rick Barry show.
How dare you?
You didn't like the shower running in the background?
Him and Skip.
Rod Brooks would not be a fan of it.
Him and Skip would get on together. Yeah, that was a little awkward there. Maybe he wasn't a real player, is what he said. He wasn't a real, but great biceps though.
Some of the best. Cleaned up in the club in Oakland.
So that's your what? That's your winner. Any other T? That's it.
No, that's it.
All right. So Rick Barry there at the winner of the week. I guess a rare one. We'll give CP3 a little love. I guess he's retiring at the end of the year. So quite the career he's had. So he sounds like this is going to be his last year. Rodney Rogers, you guys remember that name from NBA?
Lefty.
Passed away today as well. Young, 54. And then next week, I want to get a little bit more into what the Hall of Fame class voting will be, if anybody will get in this year. It's not the best list, so I'll get in that with you guys there. Rick Porcella into it. Let's see if we can get him in there. He can make it. Was it Andy Pettit? A few on that list.
Ryan Braun,
Mark Burley. I guess the closest ones outside of Andrew Jones
or something like that.
I love how Gio Gonzalez is on the list. He's on the list too. Gio can make it on there. And Felix Hernandez. I know Brian, me and you think very highly of King Felix. He absolutely murdered the A's on every level. So we'll see if he ends up getting into. So all right, enjoy the football today, guys. Have a good week ahead. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Come on, Raiders, beat the Browns. You can do it.